We'll see how this goes. Shoot. Well then, I have no fucking idea what's gonna happen with this, but yes, this is, Pokemon Doubles, it looks like, yeah. And there's apparently only 3 combatants going into this matchup. Down to just unforeseen consequences with the other combatants, but we'll see how this goes. Craziness. Animal Crossing music on stream. Which I have no idea, because I don't think I'm watching the stream. Well, nevertheless, I think a lot of speculation has been put into, or not, of this matchup going into tonight. But if there's one thing I could probably go in with is that I think Mr. Kals over here is very much going to be the lead man to go into this as the favorite to win it. He came in pretty earlier today with the intent of pretty much repeating his domination earlier on in the Olympiad. So I expect no different going into this. Maybe, maybe not. We'll probably be surprised. We'll see what happens. So it looks like the first matchup will be Toboy versus Quick in this matchup series. And we'll see how it goes. All the craziness involved. Well, here we go. Quickfire 123 versus Mr. Toboy. Alright, and we are under our way with this. Already starting to get in with this matchup. And we have a Tapu Lele and Raichu over on Toboy's side, and we have Aegislash and Kyurem on Quick's side with this matchup. So we'll see how it goes. The battlefield got weird, and that is an understatement of the century. Let's see what is up the sleeve of Toboy going into this matchup. This match will be quintessential, and he does the nuzzle in which he gets paralyzed. And oh my goodness, looks like Kyurem has just hit Raichu pretty hard. Put in with a taunting. My goodness, this looks like it's going to be a quick one. In hindsight, this will be interesting to see, to say the least. Kyurem has restored a little bit of health with the leftovers. Whatever they may be, I have no idea. But judging from, looks like a fucking drill on his tail. Is that the tail that looks like a drill? I'm Gonna assume that's what it is. I don't know. And here comes Gyarados coming in with the offense. Lost half of the health with the Volt Switch by Raichu. Now imposing Landorus. Going in with the hit. And a Flash Kitten loses 27% of the health. Gyarados is now paralyzed. So what is going to happen now? A very slow-paced game so far headed into this matchup. But again, this can still be anyone's game. We'll just have to see what happens. And now comes a Landorus. So this will be interesting. Now with a Venusaur. Doing Dragon Dance into an Earthquake attack. Losing 36% of its health from the Landorus on the side of Toboy. There is a loss of speed from the Gyarados' speed. But it was temporary and an increase. No, 1.5 times. Using a waterfall, and Landorus got one shot by that attack, using the Giga Drain. Now there remains to be a 2-on-1 assault. What is going to happen with the Venusaur? Using a U-turn. And in comes Volcarona, already has lost almost half of its health because of the pointed stones on the Venusaur. There seems to be hazards in the doubles. That is interesting. What is going to happen? In comes the Charizard from Quick. We'll see what he does. Though he will need to be careful because of the Gyarados having the water advantage over the fire type, which may prove to be detriments against Charizard. So we'll have to see what happens. And it has evolved into a Mega Charizard. But it's already at 55% health, so he's going to have to be careful with his attacks. And Gyarados is out from the Solar Beam. And Venusaur uses the Sleep Powder, which makes the opponent's Venusaur go Volcarona go into sleep. The weirdness has disappeared from the battlefield, and now we are seeing some interesting things coming into the field. Again, still anyone's game. Both men are down a single Pokemon. Still can be anyone's game. And Venusaur puts down the Protect. Volcarona goes asleep, and it gets almost destroyed. Both of them almost got destroyed together for the 2-hit kill. But Volcarona only has 3% health left. And comes out Landorus again. Get a little bit of attack on the entry. The Venusaur's attack has failed because of that. Same for Charizard. Sludge Bomb was dropped down. It was not very effective at all. Charizard uses the Heat Wave and takes out Volcarona. And Landorus is down to 21% health, and Charizard is out. That leaves Venusaur in the field. Quick has the slight advantage going into this matchup, but it's still a very close game. Craysilla has now entered the battlefield, and we'll see what happens now. Pointed stones have once again been opposed to the Raichu. Let's see what is going to be in mind for Toboy. He needs to be careful with his moves because this could very well be the fatal blow that takes him out of this matchup and this competition for doubles. The winds have calmed down as Toboy decides the next move. And Venusaur uses Protect, in which Raichu uses the Signal Beam, which is not very much effective, but nevertheless, Cresselia gets hit by the next attack of Knockoff, and my goodness, this is already starting to get picked up again. Very much a close game, once again. Who is going to make the move, though, to take the lead? That is the question headed into this matchup. But whoever may win it will need to watch out of Kal, because Mr. Kal can very much take this one with relative ease. And Raichu is now out. And Cresselia and Venusaur have been both wiped, and now it's back to 2-2 remaining. An even game. Toboy with a strategic move to make it even now. Now everyone's back down to the remaining 2 Pokemon, and it's very much still even. We'll just have to see what happens next. Kyurem is now paralyzed, so there is not much to be done with this move. Bursting area has apparently been radiated into the field. Now remains to see what is going to happen. Kyurem uses Protect, which also uses Wide Guard. Going for the defensive stance, it looks like. But nevertheless, Kyurem still gets hit, and Aegis slashes out, so Quake is down to his final Pokemon. He needs to be very careful with this, otherwise it may very well be over for him. It still can be any man's game if he plays it right. Seeing how he's going into a defensive stance, this could very much be what he needs. But who's to say? And I'm afraid that's probably not going to be the case. And Quick has been destroyed at the last second by Toboy. And Toboy wins this bout. Nicely done by both men in this bout. Very nice, very nice. And now, Toboy must now face the potential clear candidate to potentially win this bout, but we never say never. I've seen greater things happen in this competition and in this Olympics altogether. And we'll see what happens. It is now Toboy versus Kal. For the whole shebang, ladies and gentlemen. Who is the better man to win this bout in the doubles competition for this year's T-Pop Olympics? We shall find out momentarily. And we are on our way with Shelly and Mimikyu. Now in the bout with Tapu Lele and Kartana to start up this bout. Let's see how this goes about. Both of Toboy's Pokemon have already lost a third of their damage. And he's already going in with the assault with a Cork 2 crash into a taunt onto Arcanine to give him a bit of that offensive advantage in the beginning. But a Trick Room was used to twist the dimensions of this belt. And apparently Toboy does not like it, judging from the screech he has made in the chat room. So this might not be a good start for him. Shadow Claw has been used and it did not do much damage because it was protected. But the Wild Charge was used by the Arcanine and Volcarona loses 45% of its health. And is also damaged by the recoil. So dividends were put in the mix for Arcanine. And that was a lethal blow with that Shadow Claw by Mimikyu. Mimikyu. How you say its name, it doesn't really matter. But the Heat Wave was avoided by Volcarona, so that it did no damage. And Arcanine has fainted with this bout. So let's see what is next for Cal. In comes the great Tempura, who has the advantage in speed, 1.5 times speed. Let's go in with this. It already has a Psychic Seed that apparently puts up special defense and fell down the damage of both opponents. How it takes out the Katana. Gets hit with the Waterfall. Then a Shadow Claw. At 43% health. Cal was going in with the pressure on Toboy early on in this bout. Dragon Dance was put, and the defense and the attack lowered. And with that, Tapu Lovely has fainted. Katana uses the Smart Strike, in which it just did not much. So the decoy of the disguise did no damage to the Mimic. And that just is gonna be bad for Toboy going into this matchup. So now we have Raichu going into this match. Let's see what he's got in mind for his next move. All individuals have lost one Pokemon headed into this matchup, so it can still be any man's game. But Cal is going in with the pressure, so this may prove a detriment either way. And it looks like Beedrill just got one-shotted by the Katana with a Smart Strike. That was a lethal blow. And now we have the Bone Zone in this matchup. Bone Zone. Interesting. It seems the Great Tempura is heavily boomed up, so it will be a difficult task to take her out. This is a female. Not that I could have told it otherwise, but you know, it shows the gender as so. Nevertheless, we will have to see what Cal has up his sleeve when he goes into that. And it looks like he did the nuzzle attack that, oh goodness, and I think that was a shot that Cal probably did not see coming. But nevertheless, Katana has been knocked out and Raichu only has 1% health, so it's pretty much a done deal for that Pokemon. So it may have not amounted to much either way. Now comes Landorus, who puts down minus 30% and attack damage for the Bone Zone. We'll see what he has up his sleeve. Bone Zone uses Protect and does no damage from the Raichu. Neither from Landorus, so no damage whatsoever was done by either individual. Very smart move by Cal. RNG apparently is the problem from Toboy, but who knows? It remains to be seen if that will be the case, and I don't think we'll ever know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. No doubt the Pokemon games had a little bit of luck put involved, but mostly it's going to be within your skills that determines how far you can progress with this. 10% chance to miss. If that is the case, then goddamn, that's some bad RNG, Toboy. Very bad RNG. Crazy shit. So the rock slide didn't really do much, and the Grand Partner did get fainted. So now we have Shelly in the matchup. Toboy has the slight lead, but that's eventually going to probably come down to an even game after this turn. Remains to be seen what will actually happen. Shelly puts down Protect. Bone Zone is out, and Kals is down to his final 2 Pokemon. So Toboy can potentially sink this in if he plays his cards right. With the 4-2 lead, this could still be anyone's game. No damage at all from the Gyarados because of the Protect, and Mimic is now back in the game. Does Cal have something up his sleeve? That is the question. It's going to be crunch time for him to figure this out. And Mega Gyarados is now in the battlefield, and this may very well be it for Cal. This is something I did not expect. This may be a great upset going into this matchup. Both individuals going in with the Protect. Very much trying to make this a defensive game. But Cal's going to have to do some crazy stuff to make sure that he wins this if he has any chance of getting the gold. And as it currently stands, this is very much in favor of Toboy, crazy enough. And Volcarona has been put out. It's now at a 3-2 deficit. Still Toboy's game, but again, Cal is going to have to be strategic if he wants to win this. He still has the full health Gyarados. That could be the deal breaker to make or break this game for either individual. But it's going to be the luck of the draw of RNGesus, my friends. And this is pretty much what is determining the current setup for who's going to be on the podium. Gyarados once again doing the Protect. Mimic now using Destiny Bond. And ladies and gentlemen, it's now an even game at 2-2. Could Cal pull off the clutch win? This might be something. Can Toboy hold it off there? That is the question. Or will Cal do the inevitable and do whatever it takes to make certain that he wins. Jolly now uses Protect. Play rough. Takes out about a quarter of the health for Gyarados. Mimic is now out. It's down to the final Pokemon for Cal. This is going to be a very clutch match, folks. I don't know if this is going to be the case. This very much looks grim for Cal. And with that, Toboy has won the bout and the gold. Craziness. Craziness. The underdog has come out victorious in this doubles bout here at the Olympiad, folks. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. But there's still a game for silver. That is one thing that must be doing. So it can be anyone's game for the silver, but Toboy has defended the gold once again. Isolated by the underdog rookie. Or even is he a rookie anymore? After this bout, I don't know. I don't know. And we will now go into the next matchup to determine who will win silver and who will have bronze. Because either way, everyone that has participated in tonight's bouts will win a medal regardless. But everyone was against the gold. But Toboy has the gold, so now it's down to silver. And that match shall come up momentarily. The real question is, where is Quickfire 123? That is probably the biggest speculation going into this matchup. Whatever that'll be. Who knew? Quick has disappeared all of a sudden. Yeah, yay, yay, yay. Wonderful. I'm not surprised. So we may be blowing some time on this footage, on this broadcast, give or take. If not, cool, I guess. If so, cool, I guess. I don't think it really makes much of a difference to whomever might be watching this video, which may or may not be anyone else, but hey, better to be safe than sorry, you know? Assuming shit. I would be a lot more excited if there was a lot more people involved, you know? So I'm honestly, yeah, I don't usually sound this bored by any means of the necessary. Hey, maybe I'm better than Power, you never know, man. I don't think he was going to be any better than I was, soloing it.
Kali said game started.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall in this broadcast. So, hello, how you doing, T-Bog, and whoever else is watching. Anyways, enough of that bullshit. Let's get into the match to determine who wins the silver medal. And it is Cal versus Quick. And we'll see how this goes. Mimic had a disguise, so it did no damage from that heat wave. Venusaur drew off a sledge bomb and just pretty much destroyed Shelly in one hit. Craziness from that quick. The attack power of Charizard and Venusaur has fell from 53%. Good God. Hopefully I don't have a stroke as I do this podcast. The dimensions have been twisted, so anything could happen, potentially. I wouldn't know, because I haven't kept up with Pokemon in many, many, many years. So I'm probably just spewing out bullshit, as I usually do. So Mimic used the Trick Room. It now pulls out Arcanine, using the Flare Blitz to take out Venusaur. That was destructive. Even it only took out 11% of health. The opposing Great Tapura has now put up the second seed in special defense, and Mimic has Destiny Barlin. Venusaur has a nice ass. Well, I cannot deny that. Too bad its ass is now in the ground. In comes Aegis Slash. Hopefully going in for the offensive. Still an even game at 1-1. Anything could happen. The upset of the century could still very much be a thing if Quick wins the silver. With not much preparation going into this matchup, that would be certainly a disappointment. Especially for Cal, who has prepared intensely going into this matchup. But anything could happen. Aegis Slash has changed stance and now uses the Shadow Ball and takes out Mimic in a single hit. And Great Power uses the Waterfall and takes it out 44% of its health of Charizard. And out to make the second move for both combatants, still an even game at 2-2. Very interesting, very even game this has been. These matches have been pretty even for the most part. In comes the Bone Zone and Landorus. Both have now received, well, Kals' side has received minus 33% in damage. Let's see what happens, and it looks like Charizard might be due for an evolution. We'll see what happens. And Landorus has been hit with an Ice Fang that took out 81% of its health. Not very much damage was taken from the Stealth Rock of Landorus. Only lost about 18% of its health. Pointed Stones have floated up in the air against the opposing team, so this may be the low-key death of one of the opponents. But I digress. Seeing some low-key heat in the Discord chat from one of the events that did not enter this event this evening. Maybe a future bout will be in sight, who knows? The Great Tavura has done the Dragon Dance, in which the Bone Zone falls up with a tailwind, and then Charizard uses a Solar Beam, which loses 29% of the health for the Great Tavura. Dimensions have gone back to normal. Things may not be as crazy as they seem now. The waterfall was placed down by the Great Tapura on Charizard that now has only 10% health left, and the Great Tapura is now out. Bone Zone takes out 49% of its health with the Ice Beam from Kirin. Kirin gets a little bit of HP back from leftovers, and now comes Arcanine, who gets some chip damage entering back into the bout. And Quick could potentially make certain that this is a silver. This is insanity, as you see. by how motivated I sound right now. Of course. Charizard uses Protect, in which then the Arcanine uses Flare Bits, and it loses over half of its health, and Arcanine's already almost out of this bout. The Bone Zone uses Foul Play, in which the Kyurem uses Earth Power. Kyurem restores a little bit of health. Cal can still potentially take home the silver. With strategic moves, it is still possible. And Charizard is now out of this match. Kyurem is now out, almost. Bone Zone and Arcanine look to be out. This may be fatal for Cal, as he will only have one fresh Pokemon left after these two go out. This potential will become a 2-on-1 handicap. He will need to play strategic to make certain that he can potentially win it. We will have to see what happens. Bone Zone did use Roost into the Thunder Wave, going Cresselia. Did not really do much. Arcanine uses Flare Bits to take out Arcanine. And it's now down to the 2-on-2, and this very much could be in Cal's favor right now. Quick needs to be smart with his plays. Otherwise, this could easily become a bronze victory. As if a bronze is supposed to be a victory, but nevertheless, a medal is a medal in this Olympiad. We'll see what happens. This looks to be a bit of a problem going into this match, as it looks like the elements may not be in Quick's favor. Quick has somehow made a mistake. This may cost him dearly. I don't think there's going to be much of a combative chance that has been displayed. Keeps taking in hits, and I don't know of how he's going to manage to get this to work, because this is pretty much a done deal, folks. One shot is all it takes, a critical hit even in the slightest, and it's over. They're going to keep using Moonlight, and it's just going to keep going back and forth, and it's just a massive grind fest. It's a struggle to keep himself alive. Trying desperately, but it's not going to do anything, because the more he heals, it just goes down and down and down. And with that, Cal has won the silver, and Quick will go home with the bronze. So either way, everyone involved has won a medal for this Olympiad. Nevertheless, nicely done by everyone involved in tonight's out. Valiant effort by everyone involved. Good stuff, good stuff. And the hype for doubles will live on in infamy for many years to come. Yes, indeed. Kals shall now prepare himself for that inevitable chance of getting another win in doubles, but until then, we'll have to see what happens. We'll see what happens.